Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous Community Show. I am Commander Kerrash, and joining me tonight is none other than Commander Darren Grey.
Hello.
Yes, the man himself. How cool is that? So, as we were saying just now, there are probably a few people living under a rock out there who've not heard anything about Elite Dangerous at all, who probably might not know what you've done, Darren. So when you introduce yourself and say a bit about how you got involved.
Ooh, well, I am one of the official tie-in writers for Elite Dangerous, part of the Tales from the Frontier anthology. I wrote 1.5 of their stories. I got involved when there was an original Kickstarter for that back in, it was forever ago now. And we've just recently released the book, so that's out now. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it direct from Fantastic Books Publishing, and it's got lots of interesting bits to tie in with the game.
Excellent, excellent. And I think the last time I saw you was up at LaveCon, wasn't it?
That's right. Not long ago.
Oh no! I tell you, it seems like an eternity ago now. After I just had such a busy week, I've just been so crazy, and it doesn't help. I've been feeling really awful today. First thing this morning, I was going to call this off because I just felt absolutely awful. But yeah, no, I've been a lot better now. But it just wasn't LaveCon fantastic? It was great fun, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. 2 days of just.
Man, it was just gone. It was just gone in no time at all. It was like before I could get settled in and kind of enjoy myself, it was just over with. It was just no fair. But then there's always Fantasticon to look forward to, isn't there?
Yes, in just a few weeks' time now.
Ooh, excellent, excellent. Yeah, and that looks like there's going to be some fun things there. So if you couldn't make it to LaveCon, Fantasticon is another Elite Dangerous themed event, which I'm sure most of you out there should know by now. But definitely you should go check that out. And I haven't got the link to hand. But
fantasticon.co.uk.
There we go. I thought it was easy. There we go.
One thing we're really hoping for, but kind of depends, is having several Oculus Rift DK2s there.
Yes, I have been.
A few people have promised they'll be bringing them along if they arrive in time, and I'll be really annoyed if they don't.
Yeah, I've been.
Should be a lot of fun.
I've been talking to a few of said people, and I am planning on bringing my DK1 one way or another. But like I was saying earlier on, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it to Fantasticon. I was really looking forward to it, but something has come up, something else. Which
we're going to have to get someone else to get tattooed with the Elite logo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this you can't have an ambassador on site unless they've got the tattoo. It's just yeah, but no, I have got a plan, a backup plan. I'm trying to send my my Rift up there, so you guys will at least have that one. Wow, it sounds like there's going to be plenty up there, but yeah, we'll have mine one way or another going up there. A couple of very, very nice people from the community will be helping me out with that. If they can get their plan sorted first, so fingers crossed. It's all gonna work out in the end. We'll find a way. We'll make it work.
So how is your Elite tattoo?
It's not too bad now, actually. It's
can we have a little?
It's yeah. We can get it on the. There we go. See, there we go. It's not.
Is it all healed up now?
It's mostly healed up. It's not itchy anymore. It's okay actually. It was my first. I'm an idiot. I know. I just I couldn't help myself. My wife did say to me, "Why don't you get something important?" You know, and she was expecting me to come home with like the kids' names or something. And I was like, "Look at this! Look at this! Look!" And she's just the sigh from her was never mind. Bless.
Yeah, I got very similar from my girlfriend when I got at symbols tattooed up my arm.
But it is important. It's important to me. That's the main thing. Ryan Extreme.
You are the ambassador.
Exactly. Yeah. It's official. I did ask for Frontier permission before I went ahead and got it, though, to be fair. So just had to make sure. I just had to confirm. Question.
What would you have done if you'd gotten it done and then they said, "No, you're not allowed to use the logo like that"?
I would have had a very expensive laser surgery.
Or maybe you needed the small print underneath, all rights reserved, Frontier Development.
Yeah, as long as I had the copyright, TM, and all that business, I would have been fine. Yeah, I'd be fine. But no, I was actually actively encouraged by David Walsh, the COO of the company, because he was going to get one done in LA when we went to E3, and I kind of mentioned I was thinking of getting one a while back, and he just kind of egged me on to do it, and I was like, yeah, All right then, I will. As soon as I got back from E3, yes. Oh, I'm an idiot, I know, but hey, that's passion and drive for you, let's say. Dedication to the cause.
I think most of us are very, very jealous of it. I think it was very, very cool. Especially with that new logo design. It's perfect for tattoos.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
really good.
Yeah, that was the main reason why I decided to go for it after, because it was a really nice design transfer into like just one color basically, and you know, I was very, very lucky that they let me have that particular design. But I think Ryan Extreme there is just asking if he would have the rights to do it. I think you'd have to ask Frontier directly. I can't give you a yes or no on that. I was really happy that they let me do it, but it's entirely not up to me, I'm afraid. And I'm getting it on with an anaconda. Oh, sweetie. I was almost like I've got Psycho Cow on the line. Bless him. He's a lovely chap, though. A little bit barmy, but...
But who isn't?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You all have to be a little bit mental, I think, to be part of the community. But oh, you can't frame shift away from me, right? Let's target his frame shift drive.
So what are you flying here? What weapons are you got?
So I've been playing around with a few different loadouts. He frame shift away. That damn, he had a good thing. I'm in the Cobra. Everyone loves the Cobra, classic. And I've just got the I think it's class 3 gimbaled lasers here to get the shields down, and then I've got the class 2 fixed multi-cannons on the wing tips to do that hull damage when they're down. I quite like that loadout. I've jumped back and forth on quite a few different loadouts. The railguns in particular are really, really good fun, but insanely difficult to hit, which is probably a good thing, because my word, they don't have to do some damage when you get a clean hit on them. So yeah, very, very fun. I mean, I like the fact there's so much variation already. You know, with just the 5 ships, we've all these different things you can get and do with these basic models. It's awesome. He's got a good bounty on his head. He's going down. Right.
And we've had confirmed there will definitely be several new ships in the new beta coming out towards the end of this month.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, that brings us on to the newsletter 32, which was just released a couple of hours ago. Actually, there is a peak of the week in there. So I'm pretty sure I know what ship that is, and I'm pretty sure you know what ship that is.
It features rather heavily in my story, The Comets Trail.
So it's no good asking you what do you think that ship is. So I'll leave it open to the floor for a minute or two. Anyone out there who thinks they know what the new ship is in the peak of the week 30 newsletter 32, by all means chime up. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I think it has something to do with maybe police force sort of background. Maybe.
If anyone has Tales from the Frontier, the Elite Anthology, there's actually a beautiful piece of artwork. Alan Skysit Viper.
There we go.
Correct,
yeah, that's it.
There's a beautiful piece of artwork done by Arto Heikkinen based on the Comets Trail with a specific scene in that story, and the detail he's done in this kind of black and white image of the Viper flying through a canyon. It looks amazing. I definitely recommend going and checking out the artwork. Tales from the Frontier.
Some fantastic things like that, and I love the things that, because for me it fills in the detail of this universe, and that's the thing. It's like before it was left up to our imagination, and now we've got all this fantastic artwork and the novels as well. I mean, just filling in all these little bits of detail and making the whole universe seem so much more like believable. I mean, that's what I absolutely love. I love that sort of stuff.
That's what was so great about the Dark Wheel and about the other stories that came with Frontier and First Encounters. They built up this idea of a bigger universe. You were just in your cockpit and flying about, but you could imagine so much more. And it sort of opens your head to all the other ideas that might be out there in the whole game, this giant game.
Yeah, absolutely. It really did. I mean, there's a lot of good games that have done that sort of thing in the past. I mean, more recently, I think like the Half-Life series, it really did it gave you enough to make you believe there was more going on than there was, and just left the rest up to your imagination, which was fantastic, because it could never fail to live up to that hype, because it was just all in your head. You're making it up as you go along. So yeah, it's a really good way of building up the backstory of a game. I think is just giving little hints, just letting you do it. Almost like when you're reading a novel. That's how you do it, really. You just kind of build up those images and then let the reader imagine the rest. It's awesome. Dobbo, having problems with the video streaming? No, I think it's going up fine. It's all green here, so hopefully it's might just have to refresh the page maybe. Oh, evening, Dan, the publisher man.
Do I know him?
You might do. Rings a bell. So some of the other things on the newsletter actually was fantastic. They talking about the lifetime expansion pass, which they've had to extend because everyone keeps demanding more for it, which is awesome. It's great to see that demand out there, and it is a heck of a good deal. I mean, some of the things they're planning in the future expansion passes, wow. You know, there's going to be so much in there. I cannot wait to see what they're planning. So it's definitely worth a shout. If you haven't already got all of the expansions queued up for your pledge level, then go and get it. Absolutely, it's value for money. Psycho Cow. Oh, we have Commander Adam Woods on the chat there.
Someone on the chat mentioned the concept art of the planetary landings.
Ah, yes,
that's possibly the most detailed concept art we've seen today, I think.
It is really fantastic actually, and like I said, it just kind of brings all those things that I used to imagine on how the things looked on the on the Frontier Elite 2's kind of plain backdrops and stuff. You just kind of filled in the details in your head. It's like now you can start to see that cementing together, and it's so awesome. I cannot wait until you can get down in there and start flying around in those valleys and all. And that comes on to some of the things that David Braben's hinted on before, is the idea of the gameplay opportunities of this sort of thing. It's not just like a pretty backdrop like you've seen in some other things where you have like terrain generation, and yeah, it looks pretty cool and everything, but this really does start to open up all these possibilities of maybe getting into a dogfight and deciding to go into the atmosphere and get down near the planet's surface to try to evade someone and things like that. There's so many possibilities that can come out of having such an expansive canvas to play on effectively. I can't wait.
I would say, especially with that image, don't just look at it in the newsletter. Click on the image, and it'll open it up in a browser, and it'll have in the full resolution image. And there's a lot of detail in the background there.
Yeah,
ships flying off in the distance and things. Check it out properly.
Yeah, it's going to be my background on my desktop for a while. I think it's very nice. And let's have a quick flick through. What else did we see on there? Oh, of course, yes, the new EliteDangerous.com website. Yes, we have an official website now. Awesome. Which is very nice. I will admit I did kind of see some of it a little while back, which is naughty, but I saw some. It was great, and it does look really good actually. I mean, I do like particularly like the background is like the E3 trailer stuff that we saw, and some of the details in that fantastic. People walking around on the landing pads, and some the little details that you couldn't pick up on before, but now you can see it. The buildings inside the Orbis station and things like that. Great little details in there. There's not much to trade here. I'm going to go somewhere better.
It's just me, or is there some bits of that video that are completely new?
From the video, sorry.
For the background of the Frontier website.
Ah, yeah, some of the elements in the yeah, because they're all captured out of the E3 trailer. So
someone could be wrong. I thought someone knew.
So I think they might be paint over type things on there, so it's not details which are entirely in the game as of yet, but there's some interesting things in the background. I mean, it all just kind of hints as like Frontier have all of these assets there. It's just it's a case of getting it all together really. Let's head off to Owlin. How do you pronounce that? Owlin.
Owlin.
Well,
that was confirmed by Michael at LaveCon. But what I thought was new was the third-person view of the cockpit of the Cobra and the Sidewinder shooting at ships. I don't think I've seen that before, unless I've been inattentive. That kind of third-person just outside, but kind of stuck to it, like staying in position with the Cobra as it fires.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, that might have been just like done for the effect. I think maybe.
Well, I mean, obviously Frontier have the ability to get camera angles that we don't. But I think that is new footage, and it's quite interesting to see that perspective, actually. That's a perspective we haven't properly seen before.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it shows like how much of it is already there, ready to be done. You know, it's like Frontier put some great work into making sure all of that stuff is ready for us in the future expansions, and you know, and it's a lot of work to do all that sort of stuff. I mean, a lot of games tend to cheat, and you know, sometimes like you might see a game where like the cockpit elements of the game here could be just fake model that's just placed in front of the camera for the sake of it, but you know, obviously this is all fully, you know, built out, ready to go with all of the detail behind that you wouldn't normally see in other games. It's fantastic they've put all that in already. So it's attention to detail.
They had the video in there in the newsletter of just looking through the cockpits, which I must admit, actually, David showed me that earlier. He showed it at the BAFTAs last week. I went to see that with Drew and a couple of other Elite fans. We got to see David talking about various things. It's very nice.
That was fantastic. I think that made Drew's day, didn't it? He was he was really happy about that.
You got to meet David just before the thing. He went up and said hi to them. And then when David Braben was up on stage, he ended up mentioning Drew and pointing him out whilst on stage talking about Elite, and that Drew was just glowing.
I know that feeling well. It's like that little, yeah. It's like he mentioned me. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. It's really good. You know, Frontier and everyone there is getting so involved and giving back to the community. Love them all to bits. They're fantastic. Bless them. Right, have we missed anything else on there? I wanted to try and cover everything on there quickly. I need to slow down or else I'm going to crash. Hey.
There's some bits about David Braben's Q&A, which he did on the forums. It was a very last-minute thing. It was announced in the forums. David Braben will be doing a Q&A, and then there was
everyone diving there. I was frantically trying to help with the moderation on that. It was just it was nuts for a while. It was just questions. I don't think I've F5'd that hard since the Kickstarter, to be fair. But it's now it's good. Nosnai, greetings, Commander. Hope I haven't missed anyone. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but it's streaming past really quickly today. But so if he's still on there, I think he's still about. I will have to give a shout out to Commander Adam Woods, who I played a little bit of co-op with him the other night, which was absolutely fantastic. It really did kind of cement in my mind how great it's going to be able to collaborate with people and just kind of have those ad hoc kind of meetups and, hey, do you want to help do this? Let's do this. Let's go over here and that sort of thing. I can't wait for that part of the gameplay to come out. It's just it's brilliant fun. It's great fun. I think he's about. He'll answer in a second. Of course, there's a minute or so delay on the stream chat, so it's a bit of a pain in the backside. Yeah, I think Dan's right there. Actually, I think David only managed to get round to about a 30th of the questions in total. It was just absolutely crazy. There was so many questions coming through, but you know, it's great that he took the time to to kind of give back to everyone who wanted to get involved and ask questions and things like that. It's always good fun to have a little bit of feedback from everyone. And I just hit the wrong button. I didn't want to do that. Damn. And I froze it over. There we go. I really should label the buttons on this controller. Never mind. So one of the
tried alternative control schemes, like the power grid application on tablets and things like that.
Yeah, I've messed around with a few things. I've played around with all the different controllers at some point because everyone's asked me to try a couple of different ones out. But I like the 52. I kind of play mostly stock controls on the X52, but with a few tweaks because there's a couple of buttons I like to have close to hand. Landing gear being one of them, and I just totally missed that landing pad. Whee! That's the way to do it.
Do you think they'll ever deck out the inside of these orbit stations a bit more, make them prettied up?
Yes.
So I'd love to see like gardens and things just surrounding you as you come into dock.
Well, yeah, I think that was some of the things mentioned in like earlier peaks and some of the concept art and stuff like that. And there's definitely in the last couple of things I've seen in the newsletters and whatnot, the mention going back again to all of the variations we're going to see on some of the starports. At the moment, we've only really seen 2 major variations and a couple of minor tweaks on those variations. With like some of the stations got different lighting and various things like that. So yeah, there definitely is going to be a lot more designs coming in later on.
And different voices too for some of the stations.
Different
Always find quite
voices.
entertaining.
Yeah, not all female voices.
Oh, we wouldn't want that, would we?
No, definitely
That
not.
would be terribly sexist.
Is it me or has the station got prettier? Probably, Dan. Yes, probably. This is the great thing about all this procedurally generated stuff, is you can just kind of layer on more stuff over time, which is brilliant. What are we gonna buy? Let's find something really expensive. Resonating separators.
Ooh, that sounds
Resonating
sneaky.
separators. That's gonna cost me a fortune. There we go. It's that kind of spaceport, apparently. What have we got in here?
That was another nice thing about the newsletter they started doing with the Galactic News, which contains kind of in-game mentions of what materials are going well and stuff.
Yeah.
Your resonating separators. We'll get into the next newsletter.
Yeah, they were all bought up by a certain Commander Crash and sold on the black market. But no, it's nice. It absolutely is brilliant. It kind of feeds into. It's like I knew these sort of things were going to be coming with the whole kind of background simulation and the multiplayer aspect of the stuff. It's nice to see it starting to come through. These random events that Frontier are going to be able to inject in. I mean, they've mentioned them several times, but they've really kind of just snuck them in. And now we're starting to see all of these effects that are going to play out because of simple little things like, oh yeah, we're just going to tweak the value of this or completely ban a certain stock market item or something like that, and it has a huge impact on the gameplay for lots of people, which I think is a fantastic little touch to it. Because, I mean, as much as I loved the universe of like Frontier Elite 2 and all, it did kind of feel static after a while. You got used to the patterns and everything in it, and it didn't feel like it was changing. Now with this, it means that Frontier can happily poke in and tweak and change things that we don't even know about until they happen. And it's like, yeah, because I mean, I thought the progenitor cells were suddenly seemed to disappear, and then we got the newsletter out, and I was like, oh, that's sneaky. It's like I kind of felt the effect of it before we saw the news item. But of course, that's all going to be integrated in game at some point.
What I love as well is the way that they talk about it in an in-universe style.
Yes.
They give explanations for why this commodity is so desired and this one is being withdrawn and such. And it plays into the role-play aspect of the game, because we already see on the communities, everyone likes to role-play being Imperial or Federal or whatever other thing. And with the fiction tie-ins and all sorts as well, I think we're going to see a lot of people really getting into the universe. And it's good to see Frontier really encouraging that and sort of setting the tone for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a nice style. And it makes the game feel bigger in a sense, in a strange kind of way. It really does kind of fill out that universe in my head. That what I'm imagining, it makes it feel realistic. It really does seem believable to me. Oh crikey! Sorry, I missed a couple of questions there. Wonder if there would be more than one starport entrance souls. I don't know about the designs we've seen, but I think maybe some of the ones which are just refueling stations are going to be a lot. There might be a lot of places that individual ships can just dock straight to without having to go in. Maybe. Any more questions? Petrus, anyone else stoked for the missions coming in Beta 1? Yes, I can't wait. Although I think, are they officially called contracts? I'm not sure. I think they're called contracts. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like the being able to do package runs and assassinations and things like that. That is going to be great fun. Oh, Shango. And for those who don't already know, the peak I think went out last week, or was it this week? Peak of the week. There was a slight peek of the new system map. Did you see that, Mr. Grey?
What? No,
what? No, new star map? What? Yes, there was an interesting little image taken from the Galaxy map. And obviously at the moment we have, I think it's 6 or 7 systems? 6, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. 8 systems.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yes. So there was a sneak peek of what we're going to be seeing in standard beta, and at rough count, I think it was at least 60 star systems I counted, which looked like they could be visited. So wow, that's a bit of a ramp up from the initial one. So yay!
It's still nothing.
It's
compared
tiny,
to what the final game is going to give us. It's still nothing.
Not even a drop in the ocean. It's just one little tiny point of light on the horizon. Absolutely minuscule. But no, looks fantastic. I can't wait. I can't wait to get out there and play around. It's, you know, even with the marketplaces and everything we've seen at the moment, there's just so much variation, and you know, all these things we're just talking about, Frontier, you know, eject events and everything into there. There's so much already going on. When we've got 60 systems, I'm not going to have a notepad big enough to keep track of stock prices, I don't think. Ryan, I'm not sure if I can link it because it's in the private backer forum. I'm sorry. It will become publicly available at some point, though.
Should be in the next newsletter, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
Usually a week behind.
Yeah, yeah. Dan, the publisher, wrote, I wonder if larger ships will be able to refuel smaller ones. Eventually, yes. There will be ship-to-ship docking. You'll be able to get in there and trade commodities with other people. Actually, I'm along with the people in the first great expedition, in the fact that if we can't do that, we're going to be pretty much screwed. So, yeah, it will be possible at some point. Iron Ass Vipers, yeah. Petrick has linked it there. Naughty, naughty, naughty. That wasn't me. I think we've covered everything in the newsletter there, haven't we? I think it was.
Well, the only other thing was the screenshots competition.
Oh yes, the 4K screenshots, which look absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's amazing, this little detail they've added that you can press. Is it Alt F11?
Alt and F10, I believe it is. Yeah.
Alt F10, and it'll kind of judder. Well, at least on my computer, it kind of judders for a
Oh
second.
yeah, it does. Yeah.
And then you get this amazing 4 times the size. And it just shows they've got all this stuff being simulated there. And our PCs aren't even good enough to run Elite Dangerous. How good it could be right now.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've been raving on about procedural generation stuff since day one. Is it's effectively an infinite level of detail curve. You know, rather than you having to manually make all of those levels of details and try to, you know, build all of the different steps you need and kind of balance off between, well, yeah, we'd like to put more detail in, but we can't because there's not enough storage space and all that sort of thing. You know, procedural generation just takes all of that out of the equation, and you can literally just keep adding more detail until you stress the system to the point where it can't do anymore. So fantastic. I'd love to see all that stuff in there, and that was some of the things that I think David Braben was talking this week about, future-proofing the game. And it seems very much that the only way you're going to be able to do that is to have something like this custom in-house procedural generation engine. You know, it's the only way you can really do it, I think.
Yeah, it's great that they're really thinking ahead, and it just shows that, you know, if they really do want this to be a 10-year game or more, you know, they want this to really last, and they're building in the graphical capability now for the PCs of 5-6 years down the line.
Yeah. I think we're having a little bit of trouble with the stream there. Oh no, it's back. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely back. There we go. But I'm having issues with this, so I might have to... Yeah, it's not playing ball tonight. Dan reading stuff about the first-person ship wandering. Yeah, I really can't wait until we can do that. It's just going to be awesome. Just the level of detail, you know, going from like this huge expanse of space and then suddenly getting out and feeling so tiny and minuscule against it. And I think that's really going to make the stations feel so much more vast when we're getting out and walking around them. I can't wait to do that.
Sharpshift just made the point about, will we end up attracting lots of FPS kids?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it is a different game. It's not one of those things that you could play first person all the time. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether it would attract lots and lots of players from that sort of area. It would be nice if people kind of come over and realise that, oh, actually there's a lot more here than just first person. But I don't know. I don't know whether that will be the case or not.
I don't think it'll have the same sort of gameplay as the likes of Call of Duty. I think it will, even outside the ship, be kind of slower paced. And,
yeah.
I imagine there will be restrictions on just how much damage you can do to each other outside of a ship, because the focus surely has to be on kind of the ship combat rather than first-person combat.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the idea of like the jurisdictions and stuff plays over. That if you're inside a ship, it's fair game to like attack someone in hand-to-hand combat. But if you're out in the station, then you're going to attract a lot of attention very quickly, and it's just not really going to be something you can just go in there and just start killing lots of people for no reason. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting balance there to get that right, make it feel different to a lot of other first-person games out there. But yeah, I'd be interested. I mean, the zero-G stuff alone, I'm very interested in. How is that going to play out? How are you going to be able to play the game entirely in zero-G and move around with magnetic boots or whatever you need to make that happen? I think I'm going to have
the feeling it would be just very, very confusing.
Yeah.
Especially with the Oculus Rift, I can imagine some vomit fisticuffs.
Yeah, 6 degrees of freedom in a ship is bad enough, but when you're in first person, yeah, I will need to get the Oculus branded sick bucket out, I think, and keep that close to hand. There we go. Let's see if we can get this back. Oh, Dan. Dan's made a good point there, yeah, that they won't release the first-person shooter stuff if you lack the capability to run it, and if you're taking a millisecond headshot brigade on. Yeah, the Twitchers,
hack games,
yeah,
bots and things, which is going to be a problem even in the base game.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Frontier will be addressing that.
Yeah, and there was some talk of that, I think, just recently about so they are going to be able to stop lots of things, but some of the elements of hacking is just one of those things that you're not really going to be able to stop people screwing with every single part of the game, only the stuff that goes up to the server to authenticate and stuff. It's still a problem today, even in big games like World of Warcraft, as much as they make them sound like, they're completely fixed all of the issues and stuff. They haven't. There's still gold farmers. There's still people that hack the game and play it on 4 monitors at once and 4 different accounts and things like that. It still happens to this day. So
yeah.
You're not going to be able to fix it in a lot of things. It's just a case of being vigilant and everyone helping out in the community. I think reporting people that they think are hacking and everything and getting them dealt with. I think that's the only way you're going to be able to deal with it long term.
I think we should send Michael around their house, Michael Brooks, with his helmet.
With his helmet on, yeah, that's exactly what I was going
to... He can just go headbutt them, and then maybe rub their face in his beard for a bit. It's like, you're a hacker, hack this. And
absolutely,
that should stop people.
That seems like fair justice, I think, actually. That should be written into the EULA somewhere, I think. That
It probably already is.
Yeah, deep down in
a micro dot in one of the eyes.
Somewhere on page 112. Because no one ever reads them. Everyone just clicks yes, I agree. So yeah. Alright, let's try and get to shoot past the station. Now I must put my hands up and apologise profusely because obviously on the first day of LaveCon I was very hastily asked by Fozza to come and demo the game about 20 minutes before he decided to set up, and plonked me right in front of all of the staff from Frontier, and never have I been so nervous to sit and play this game. I mean, how terrible is that? It's like being thrown the keys of someone else's Mercedes and say, can you park it? They're just going to stand there and watch you. Okay.
Not even just park it. Can you do like a wheelie in their motorcycle or something? Can you play around with this? And,
do a couple of donuts.
Show just how amazing you are with it.
Yeah, it was like, and of course everything that went wrong could go wrong. I couldn't even pronounce progenitor cells, which I got corrected several times by Mr. Stroud. Thank you for that. I'll stick to my math and. We're all better at different things, so.
Yeah.
Oh, Tomar has to go. Okay, farewell, Commander. Thanks for joining in tonight. What else we got there? Anyone else think Elite Dangerous will get a massive player base in long term? I really, really want that to happen, FinkyBot. That's the ultimate goal for me. And I'm thinking after we go to initial release and people start to get out there and play the game properly, they're really going to start to see what I've been raving on about for 20 years. Come and play it.
You've really been raving on for 20 years?
20 years, yes, literally since I finished Frontier Elite 2, or well, not even finished. Since I got into Frontier Elite 2, I've been raving on about it. It's like if I had a 50 megahertz PC. What could they do with that? And then it was, if I had a 1 gigahertz Athlon, imagine what they could do with this if they released a sequel now. And then here we are, we finally got a sequel. And it's like, look, I've got this huge GPU. What could they do with this? You know, and like we said, back to the future-proofing stuff. It just proves that, you know, that unlimited amount of computing power, you can literally scale out these games to be absolutely enormous for years to come. And I'm still raving on about it.
You do need to be clever to do it right, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to have a sort of a bit of balls to do it in a way.
Yeah.
There's a frequent problem with publishers, big publishers, don't want to use procedural content because they don't have any control over like QA testing and things. How can they test that every single circumstance works perfectly?
Yeah.
And you know they've not got any 100% control over that. So you end up, for instance, with a really keen designer in a company will say, look, I've made a procedural generator. I've just made 100 levels with this. Why don't we put this into the game? And the company, and I've had several instances of this happening, the company say, oh, that's great. We'll take your 100 levels that you produced and give them to the QA department, and we'll just put those 100 levels in. They don't want to use the procedural generation. They just use this sample that they can test and they control, that they can be sure about. I asked David Braben about that actually when I met him at the BAFTA event last week, and he says that in a way they don't care. That they've got faith in what they're doing, and they don't care too much if things go wrong exactly. It's more about what goes right.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you can't deal with every possible edge case. I mean, you can kind of stretch the bounds of what the procedural generation is going to produce and kind of test a few of the variations and things like that. But you can't test everything. You really can't. And I've seen some great games. I mean, most of my favorite games for procedural generation terms are ones which are very, very simplistic, like Splunky. Is a fantastic 2D platformer. Every single level is completely procedurally generated, but you will notice after a while that they do tend to get samey, and that's all down to the bounds being set quite firmly, that you'll only get certain kinds of levels and things built out of it, and it's the only way you can really build something like that. Otherwise, it just gets too crazy. You couldn't. That's very close. That anaconda's coming in. Sorry. Whoopsie. You couldn't possibly cope with testing every single permutation because there literally are billions. But it's good to see that. That's close. You get you get those kind of variations in a thing. That's what I love about procedural generation. All the different things you can get it, and it's the surprises you get, which I love. That's
Pederisk on the chat has said about if the procedural generation produces something that looks like a penis. That was actually specifically the thing I asked David Braben about, because in the original Elite, they had to scour the galaxy map that was produced and make sure there was no 4-letter curse words in it.
Yes,
And he said that, I asked him, have you had to do any of that for the new game? And he says, not really, with the way the names are done now, and even so, they don't care. It's a game with narcotics and slavery in it. A few words don't matter so much.
And the industry itself.
What I haven't seen yet is, and I've looked very hard, is a cluster of asteroids in the shape of 2 potatoes and a slab of meat, because it's got to be out there.
Yeah.
But I still haven't seen it.
It's bound to be somewhere.
I've spent so long looking. If anyone has seen a pair of asteroids that resembles someone's manhood,
4K screenshot,
manhood,
send that in.
Then please do, yes.
I mean, that reminds me with some of the Petra was saying there about that. I mean, that was one of the things that ended up so much trouble with Spore, wasn't it? That people could literally make any shape creature they wanted to, and naturally that's what people go to, in a community-driven project like that. It's kind of inevitable that you see those sorts of things, and it's a shame really that you can't control it. But it's also the beauty of procedural generation stuff is that it's completely freeform. It's.
You can tell when David talks about it that he's very excited by the fact that there are things in the game that none of the developers or him has seen or imagined. That the things that just out of the wild get created that they didn't even know was possible.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I make my own roguelike games which use procedural generation. And I can say that it's one of the most fantastic feelings of being surprised by your own creation.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I mean, like I said, many times before, I've done lots of games in the past. And I love that sensation of like discovery, and it's like you really weren't expecting it, because you thought, like, I programmed everything into this. How could I be surprised by something I created myself? And then just that moment of discovery when you find something that you just weren't expecting. It's absolutely brilliant, and that really does encourage me to just keep tinkering with things like that and making things. So I recall you talking something about making some sort of chat show or something. Is that still on the cards?
Me?
Have you forgotten?
A chat show?
You were talking something at some point about doing something which is like a game dev related podcast or something like that.
So
Is that?
for the last 3 years I've been hosting a show called Roguelike Radio. And we've got about 80 episodes out. So it's not talking about doing it, it's doing, it's done, it's ongoing. And yeah, we've got regular episodes on different roguelikes and different aspects of roguelike game design. We had Derek Yu from Spelunky on for one episode talking about his game. We've had Edmund McMillan of Binding of Isaac, and we've had Tarn Adams of Dwarf Fortress on the show as well.
Oh, awesome!
So we've had quite a lot of interesting people on the show, and we've had a lot of interesting discussions about game design and how you manage different things.
Brilliant. I love Dwarf Fortress. It's an awesome thing. But definitely, if you can post a link in the chat there for people to check that out if they don't already know, but they should know about it by now. Like I said, they'd have to be living under a rock to not know you and not know what you've been doing.
Well, you didn't even know that it actually exists. So.
Well, I knew you were doing something. I thought you were talking about doing something else. That was all. I think that last time we spoke, you were talking about doing something specifically. I can't remember what it was now. I'll have to go back through our chat logs. I can't remember now. It's late on a Friday. I've been taking lots of drugs and things to make me feel better. I've just antibiotics and painkillers, and oh dear God, not myself today. I haven't been for a couple of days, but there we go.
You're still flying all right.
I'm mostly sideways, but I'm getting there.
It's the best way to fly.
Oh yeah, especially with flight assist off. And I'm no. Docking request has been sent. It has not been acknowledged yet.
If I was playing with flight assist off right now, I'd be plastered across the side of that station. In fact, no, I wouldn't. I would never have even made it near the station. I'd be off on some moon somewhere.
See, I've just got used to doing it. It's not easy. I must admit, it does take some practice, but you have to have the. I mean, I only do it like 80-20, I think, to be honest. I don't fly entirely with flight assist off. I've seen some people out there that are absolutely amazing with their flight assist off skills. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I tend to do it about 80-20, and I only use it when I absolutely need to, get the angle really, really quickly.
I think we've just had a request for a speed docking.
A speed docking. Okay, I'll go back outside. I'll need to sell my ship, I think. Let's get rid of this cargo because I'm hauling all this stuff.
So you did your speed docking at LaveCon. That was how many seconds? 39 or so?
Did I? I think it was 43. I think 43 was the time at the end of it. It was.
Oh, 43, really? You couldn't manage 42?
I know.
It's so close. Number. Why?
So
what?
close. I think Fozza was just slow clicking the timer, so it wasn't entirely. No, I was slightly excited about that because I mean, just literally moments before, I think James Weiger he'd got like 45 seconds, and I thought, yeah, no one's going to beat that. That's a really good time. And
you know what? James Weiger's going to be at Fantasticons, and you're not going to be there to defend your record.
Oh yeah, I want to see
so
videos.
What's that going to mean?
I want to see videos. We're going to have to start up an official thread on the forum, I think, and get people to send in video responses, and we can count it frame by frame to make sure it's better. Nosnight, is that the old Frontier star map? That is the old Frontier star map on the wall behind me. I'll just tilt the camera slightly so you can see. And that was very kindly donated by one of my viewers, and I'm forever grateful about that. Mine got lost many years ago, and I was gutted, and he very kindly sent me one completely free, which was fantastic. Thank you very much for that again. It was awesome.
Is that your logo design as well?
Oh, so on the wall, the picture. Yes, that was hand drawn by my best friend for me. That was Commander Alpha Rats. He drew that for my birthday because he knows how absolutely obsessed with the game I am. So he drew me a very very good rendition of the Elite Dangerous logo there. So it's good to have such great friends and great viewers. But on the subject, actually, I should actually say that those observant people probably noticed the room is completely changed around today because thanks to all the donations I've had from everyone who's clicked that button below, I've actually got a little bit of money. I'm working on getting like a green screen and everything in the room and building up the website and everything. So that's why the room's a complete mess, because I'm moving everything around. I'm going to get all my elite paraphernalia set up so it's all on the camera. But yeah, it's fantastic. I can't believe the backing I've had from everyone on there. It's really really humbling, and I can't say thank you enough, to be honest.
Everyone give more money to Kerrash Landing. Cool green screen stuff, and then get attacked by Thargoids in the background.
Yes, yeah, just like I don't think I'd be able to beat Psycho Cow or Dan, the publisher man. Where is he? He's still there. There he is.
And Commander Flossie has just joined us too.
Flossie, greetings, Commander. I definitely have to get you on the show at some point. Oh, right, I'm gonna get out of the station. There we go. Right. Oh, there he is. Whoa, Commander Adam Woods. He's live. He's on the show.
Yeah.
Do you think? I don't know if he's been listening to me. I wonder if he's going to get us set up for a speed docking side by side. That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, someone make sure Adam does joint speed docking here. That'd be cool.
We'll try and do it. Right, let's get the station locked on there. Let's aim away. Let's get myself.
You need to have, like, you know, when you're beside someone at the lights and you're revving your engine. You need that in some way.
Get someone in a jetpack and a rem lock on, just out there waving the flag in 0G. You know,
and then have blue shells you can chuck at each other.
Maybe in a future release. So let's put it forward in the DDF. Right, let's get out. 3 kilometers. Let's get out. I wonder if he's heard yet. We're trying to do a speed dock. This is where he outright beats me live on the air. Sharpshifter probably won't be able to get a Panther before the next reset. I think the Panther Clipper is probably going to be the most expensive ship in the game, or one of. So yeah, I doubt we're going to be able to get enough credits before the final release.
Oh. Should I give a teaser on what ships there are in the game?
Oh, is that?
No, I won't.
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. See, and this is their relative pricing as well.
No.
I don't remember. I've actually tried my best to forget a lot of the things that I've seen in private writers' forums.
That is the worst thing. It's been absolutely fantastic, like being involved and getting to meet all the guys and do these things like E3 and everything else. But from a fan point of view, it's the most difficult thing I've had to do, because it's like I don't want to know. I want the surprise, don't you? But it's like I keep finding these things out. So right. Let's get ready. Do you want to do the official countdown, Mr. Grey?
Oh well, how will Adam know? Shooting across your bow.
If you want to put it in the chat, and then just put 3, 2, 1 in the chat, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. There's going to be lag.
A little bit lag, but the chat's almost instantaneous. So. "43 seconds, Dan. 43 seconds. Cabinator, at the moment I'm using the X52 Pro. God, Cosmic Gamer shit.
Go. Okay. Well, you're not paying attention, are you?
Where are you? I didn't see you say 3, 2, 1.
Oh, well, you've lost now.
Where? Oh, which chat were you putting that in? Were you putting that in the Twitch chat?
Yeah.
Oh. Didn't see a thing. Okay then. Right, I'll punch it in.
Sorry,
ready.
Restart.
Reset. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Go! Ah, no! Oh, he's boosting past me already. This is where I have to make. Just nudge him out of the way.
It doesn't matter what time you do, as long as he does worse.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, landing pad 1. Where on earth is landing pad 1? That's going to be right there, isn't it? No. Oh, landing gear. Slow me down. Oh. Okay. Oh, come on, speed up. You're, no. No, why is this backwards? No, what's happened to the pad?
Okay.
The pad's backwards. Damn
What?
you!
Done.
I broke it. That pad was lit up, wasn't it? That was pretty quick. We're counting that from the time that it went clang. That counts. That's still within reason. Yeah, that definitely was the pad. For some reason, the pad is backwards. Let me just check that. Yeah, it's got me listed as backwards now. All right, let's spin it around.
You think Frontier deliberately changed it?
he just,
We'll get him.
Yeah, we'll catch him out. We'll
Kerrash.
catch him out. He's hacked the pad. Yeah, see, he beat me to it. Never mind. That's got to be the slowest thing. Yeah, that was nowhere near 43 seconds. Sorry. Damn.
Well, yeah, I think that might have been Richard Swallow playing around with you.
Yeah, I was completely dockered then. Totally dockered on there. So I'll take the chance actually. There's something I want to try, and it's the first attempt to do this. So please, I hope this works out well. So, as I was saying, thanks to all the lovely donators out there, I'm able to try some different things with the live stream. And one of the things I'm going to try and do is do some competitions. I don't know how regular I can do this, but I'm going to try and set this up on here. So I have got this this lovely set here, the official keyring and pin badge, and I'm going to put the question out there for you guys. So if you guys put in, and hopefully someone who hasn't already got a keyring and pin badge will do this. So if you can answer the question, really simple, easy question for this. I'm going to start off small, small prize, small question, nice and simple. If you can tell me either as a Twitch message or on the frontier.co.uk forums, send me a private message on there. What is David Braben's favourite ship? Really simple one. Really simple one. Everyone should know that. If you don't know that, that's fine. So I'll put all your names in a hat because there's going to be hundreds of you, and I'll pick one out at random, and I'll get in contact with you and get that sent over to you. So first time for everything.
Everyone knows it's the interplanetary shuttle.
Absolutely, it's not the lifter. Oh damn! I might need to revise my question. There we go. No, it's yeah. I thought I'd give it a go. I'll try it. If it's all thanks to you lovely guys out there who've been donating to the stream. Let me do it, and hopefully I can have some interesting prizes coming up. Maybe some signed goodies. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Do we have a winner?
We got it. It's not on first come first serve. But if you send me through,
It's not. Oh, okay.
There we go. I'll try and make note of your. Right.
Yeah, Psycho Cow said, thank goodness he didn't ask middle name. That's what I was thinking you were going to say. What is David Braben's middle name?
That would be a good one.
David Braben's middle name? I've never heard David Braben's middle name.
That's
It's a mystery.
David. Yeah, Simon's got it. It's
David Mug Braben. Simon is suggesting. Someone else saying Cobra. They might just be behind the times, but it could be that his name is actually David Cobra Braben.
They could have won twice over, so yeah.
You know, you've gotten this tattoo, right?
Yes.
You know the next step is changing your name by default.
What, to Kerrash? To Commander Kerrash?
Kerrash Cobra or something like that.
Or would it have to be Ambassador? But I'd have to get some sort of certificate for it to officially be Ambassador.
I've got a friend that changed his name to General Megatron Bison.
Oh, that is cool. That is really cool.
He definitely has never regretted that.
I think Elon has actually hit the nail on the head there.
David John Braben. That's the most boring pair of first names you can have, isn't it? No offense, David, if you're listening.
Well, I was going to say my name is John David. I'm not even joking. That just feels.
No offense to you either.
It's fuel to the
John's
fire.
my full name too.
Because everyone was there saying the rumor going around that I was in some way related to Mr. Brave, and I'm not, honestly. Even though we share the first two same names, we don't. Oh dear. But there we go.
Oh yeah, Turgeon's just said you can change your name to Jameson.
Yeah, Commander Kerrash Jameson.
Look, it is the next step. You know, this whole dedicating yourself to a game thing, it's an addiction. It will escalate. Tattoo now, change your name next, stalking David at every opportunity under the guise of being an ambassador.
It's not stalking, honestly, it's not stalking. Brilliant. Right, yeah, we're going to quickly switch over because, as some people may have noticed at the top of the stream, very sneakily I've put on there that I'm actually playing a different game right now because someone asked last week is if I could do some other game streaming. So I'm going to switch over very, very quickly. And it's a game that some of you may be aware of. And I've talked about it a heck of a lot. And you have heard of it, I think, haven't you, Mr. Grey?
Well, maybe.
Does
it involve space?
It involves space, yes. There's a theme going on my channel, do you notice? I'm rather fond of things to do with space. Of course I'm talking about, let's get this up on there, Kerbal Space Program. I love Kerbal Space Program. I have unashamedly played over 200 hours into this game. I absolutely love it. It's really, really good fun. It plays to many of my favourite things, being space and random destruction of poor little dudes. Bless them. But no, it really is a really good game. It kind of encourages you to learn things about space. I think I've learned more from like orbital dynamics and things like that from Kerbal than I ever did through my science A levels and everything. Like, it's just crazy. Really, really good fun though.
NASA themselves have complimented the game and how well it's helped kind of with outreachy stuff.
It is. It's brilliant. I mean, I'm so chuffed that they kind of got involved and they've done the special NASA missions and everything as well. And it's great to see all these really, really cool games coming out with space themes behind them. So I'll tell you what. I will start a new game.
Oh, we better stop trash talking Neon Raven because he's just joined the chat.
Oh, greetings, Commander. So I'm going to try the new thing. So there was a new release for Kerbal Space Program that was out yesterday, and it's finally added in contracts and things to the career mode, which is really, really awesome. I had a very, very quick play with it. I'm still learning exactly how it works, so you'll have to bear with me as I get my head around it all now. But one of the latest additions to the little space center we've got down here is the little mission control building here, which looks just like the mission control. I'm lucky enough I visited the Kennedy Space Center and it does look surprisingly similar, I must admit. That's pretty cool. And here we go. So here's the new contract screen you get on there. So you get all these various objectives for things now, and by getting so you've not seen this, have you? It's really cool. So you get these nice little procedurally generated, I think they're procedurally generated, these nice little, like, mission descriptions and various missions and things, all very, very simple. This one in particular is to launch a new vessel. Basically, we get some reputation and some credits for launching a vessel, and this one here, get to at least 5 kilometers altitude. So that's a pretty simple mission requirement there. You'll notice at the top as well we've got this little bar on there, so you've got on the left hand side you've got your current money value credits there. In the center you've got this reputation score, and then on the right you've got the science points, which we've had for a while, the science points. So let's get in, let's build something. Like I said, I literally have only just downloaded this today, so this is all new to me. I'm loving the new update so far on the quick go that I had on it earlier. So I'm just going to quickly chuck in like the smallest, simplest little ship that I can put together. I've only got the one parachute available, and I'm just going to put one rocket booster on there. Yeah, let's try that. Let's give that a go. So you can see in the bottom left corner as well, we've got the cost. That's going to cost 1,347 credits on there to launch the thing. And you now also get this kind of idea, this feedback, that if you actually manage to successfully land and recover the parts, you get a little bit of monetary value back in. So it kind of encourages you to build designs where sometimes I've done things where you have boosters that just peel off and they just get burnt up in the atmosphere and you never see them again. Now it kind of encourages you, if you can put parachutes on those boosters so they land safely, you can recover them and gain money back, which is a nice little touch to the gameplay mechanics, I think, there. What's that question there? Eventually we'll end up in a cycle. Do you enjoy hurting small animals? Do Kerbals count? Nice. And I didn't check my staging. There we go.
Staging?
Staging. I didn't check my staging. You'll see that in a second. So you, I don't know, how much have you played this one actually, Darren?
I haven't played the latest versions.
Right, yeah.
So ages since I played it, actually.
so you got this idea of like stages to your rocket system. So I've just flipped them around in the bottom left corner here. So I'll fire off the booster first when I hit the spacebar, and then the second time I hit the spacebar, it'll fire off my my little parachute. So literally like stages in a real rocket system. You've got this idea of stages as you build up these things, and they can be as simple or as complex as you like. Just checking the questions quickly there as we approach. I think we're going to get to the... So we've launched a vessel and we've hit 5 kilometers at least. Still going up. 7 kilometers. Now, unfortunately, I had to quickly hack around. I had loads of things planned. I had a whole bunch of things in save games that I was going to show, because one of the things I was going to do was kind of a crossover and try and make some elite ships in the editor in Kerbal. That all went to pot when they released the update last night, because I had to scrap all of my save games and undo all of my mods and everything, because it's all gone wrong and all of my... Yeah, so it was all broken. But hopefully I can get some more things done. We'll come back. We'll do a bit more Kerbal, and I'll try and rebuild my Sidewinder that I made, which was quite a nice little rendition of it. Fingers crossed we can get back to there.
So you're just stuck with the phallic rockets for now?
Just the basic looking ones. That is the problem with this game. It doesn't seem to matter how you design your rocket, they just end up looking like a giant penis. And it's even worse when you have the shadow of them, because you typically have the long center thing and then the boosters at the bottom. Just the shadow of these rockets just looks completely wrong. But hey, that's just...
Does that say more about, you know, how ships are designed, or more about what we see in things?
I think it is definitely a human psychology thing, I think.
Yeah. It's like how we see faces in cars. We see penises everywhere.
Yeah, it's just that psychology. The human brain is just set up to look for patterns it recognises. I think that's
especially penises.
So exactly, yeah. It's just...
We seem to be especially good at seeing penises.
Just tuned to find them, I think. Right, let's do a crew report. So of course we've still got the science aspect of the game where you can do the crew reports. Dare I risk... No, I won't do an EVA report dangling precariously from the edge of the ladder on the way down on the parachute. That might be a little bit risky. But I don't know, have you seen any of that things as well, the EVA reports?
I honestly can't remember. It's been that long since I've played.
So they've got this great kind of... It's almost like a secondary currency, but there's this idea that you earn science points through the game. So you do experiments, you can go outside your ship, you can get EVA reports, crew reports, you can take surface samples of the other bodies on in the solar the Kerbal system, yeah, so you can kind of gain points that way by doing these little experiments and things like that.
I've never actually managed to land on anything. I've crashed on things.
It's insanely hard, I must admit. I mean, you know, I've watched a heck of a lot of Scott Mann's videos, and he makes it look insanely easy. But trust me, it is so difficult. Ow! And I lost the booster there, so that's going to cost me some money. Damn.
I tend to watch NerdCube videos rather than Scott Manley videos, and that generally doesn't teach you anything other than how to blow things up. Which is entertaining, but not as instructive.
Yeah, no, there are some great videos on there. I mean, I just like watching some of the failures you see on Kerbal as well. I think the rocket's just going horridly wrong. But now, obviously, in career mode, it makes it a lot more interesting now that there is actually the challenge to not do that. You know, the game finally feels a lot more complete compared to how it was when it first came out. Well, you know, ages and ages ago now. It seems like so many versions. But here we go. So I've landed my vessel. I've gained some science points in doing that. 19.9 science points. I've managed to recover 1,000 funds, from what I've brought back. Unfortunately, the rocket booster exploded on impact, so I didn't gather the funds there. And I brought my crew back, so I've gained reputation for not being a completely idiotic mission controller and firing.
I like how you say gained reputation as opposed to lost reputation for killing everyone.
For killing your Kerbals, yeah, which I think it's still an option. It just won't get you very far. Oh, John's on it. Farewell.
Looks like Cosmic Gamer has joined us. Hello, Cosmic.
Oh, hi Cosmic, how you doing? I went to the wrong screen there, just trying to catch up on the questions. John Sonnet asked a question quickly there. Will you be able to land on a planet? Eventually, yes, you'll be able to land on planets in Elite Dangerous. It's a planned future thing. Simon, I'm not repeating what Simon wrote on there. That's just wrong. Oh dear, 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 terrible. Right, so let's try that thing. So we've got. Okay, test the Mark 16 parachute in flight over Kerbin. That should be pretty straightforward. And test a solid fuel booster in flight over Kerbin. Again, that should be pretty simple. So I'm going to go ahead and pick both of those missions and make a slightly bigger rocket this time. Of course, you've got to kind of balance out what you can do with these things. So let's just put a little rocket
Is there for
on there.
female Kerbals, or are they all just one?
In the default game, I don't think there is, but I've actually seen expansions which allow it, which is quite cool. Someone's thought of that. You can guarantee if the people making the game don't think of it, the mod makers will find a way. But yeah, it's a nice little touch on there. One of the mods I had actually made various different kind of Kerbals. They were all kind of different sexes, different hair colors, and they even, when they were in a good atmosphere, they would take their helmet off, which was a nice little touch. Right, let's try that. So we've got three rockets on there. No, yeah, 3 rockets. Boosters, main rocket. Get my staging right in the bottom right corner there before I go ahead and fly off into the unknown. Okie dokie, let's get ready to launch this one then. Mahara Jaden, you remember landing on planets in Frontier and the buggy docking computer will take you to the yeah, the fastest way to reach that starport on the other side of the planet is straight through it, of course. Naturally, relativistically speaking.
Although, have you noticed that in Elite Dangerous, if you try to supercruise whilst facing towards the planet, it won't let you?
Yes, they've now got that, what's it, I forgot what it's called, escape vector alignment thing comes up on that little indication.
You need to actually have proper line of sight to your destination.
Yeah.
Although, there was a bug revealed at LaveCon where you could go through a station.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the developers looked a bit like, oh, that shouldn't be like that.
Whoopsie. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. And I don't think I'm going to reach the altitude requirement here. 14. I've got to get up to at least 16,100 meters. I don't think I'm going to get there. So I'm going to fail to meet the first requirement.
You've got the typical rocket fuel problem that you try to attach more things.
Yeah.
More things, but that just makes you heavier. So yeah.
Then you struggle. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm high enough to test the chute, but I wasn't going fast enough for the boosters. So I'm going to need to cut my losses here. I think I'll fire off my chutes. And I'll let that come back down safely, and I'll have to run another mission to test the boosters. In fact, I might have broken that because I wasn't going fast enough when I deployed the chutes. I might have to retest all over again. There we go. See, I'm learning as I go along, but it's good that you've got these challenges now that you have to be doing these things. Oh, there we go. I picked up speed on the way down, so I'm actually fast enough for the chute to be valid. Cool. So
do you know the supercars, the fastest cars in the world?
Yes.
Do you know they've got several stages to slowing down? The second stage is a parachute, and the third stage is brakes. You have ceramic brakes. Do you know what the first stage is?
No.
Nothing. Just letting air resistance do its work.
Yeah. I suppose.
Because at that sort of speed, it's like driving through treacle. You will naturally slow down a lot.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, that is one of the things that works quite well here in Kerbals, the aero braking. You can actually line yourself up so you bleed off a lot of that velocity just by touching the atmosphere of a planet as you go close to it. And I think you do quickly hit terminal velocity even without chutes. I mean, if I didn't deploy these chutes, I think you get up to about 120 meters per second terminal velocity before these things basically balance out. So it's very well thought out what they've got in here so far. Oh, quick question there. Killing them hardly. Is this game free? And more importantly, will it fill the void in my heart whilst waiting for Elite Standard Beta? There is a free demo of Kerbal, but I think the version I've got at the moment, I think you have to pay for it on Steam. I'm not sure how much it was, but it was recently in the Steam sale for like something ridiculous, like £10 or something. It was really, really cheap. Wow, worth it. So much content. I'm not going to be able to show everything in one stream, I don't think. I could turn the cheats on, but nah. We don't like cheats. There we go.
It's £20 on Steam.
£20 at the moment. Cool. There we go.
Steam, and technically it's still in early access, but it's one of these better early accesses.
Yeah, it's really good. It feels like a complete game already. It's something you can quite happily play and play and play. Oh, there we go. I didn't lose any parts, but I didn't achieve any of the targets, I don't think. That was my first one. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I got the altitude records, but I didn't get the. I didn't get the news. Okay, back to the drawing board. Let's try that again. So I think let's get a couple of. What I'll do, I think if I put a couple of stages on this thing, and then I can fire off these boosters when we get to the atmosphere, the level in the atmosphere they want. So let's get a couple of decouplers in. I think there's 5 science points there, and. So of course you're going to be seeing this a couple of seconds after I'm explaining it, so I'll wait for the stream to catch up. Oh dear, Psych, okay. I'm not going to do it.
We don't need playroom.
I'm not going to repeat that. Yes, it is an addictive game. I would recommend this to anyone. Right, let's get in and get a parachute on here. Let's get a radial decoupler. Now I have to be careful with the cost of this, obviously, because it's going to be the more of these things I chuck on here, the more it's going to be ramping up the cost. But I'm hoping I've got enough money to cover it. Let's get a couple of boosters on, and my theory is I'm hoping that I can drop these boosters with parachutes on, so that we end up testing all of the functions in one go. That's the theory. It's never going to work for me. We all know that. We all know it's going to go completely wrong. But if I chuck a couple of these parachutes on these boosters, I can detach them, and then hopefully I'll get all of those mission requirements in one go. Okay. And I think, looking at that, I don't want a radial decoupler on there because yeah, I'm going to end up that's a cost of 500. That's going to be a lot of money. Yeah, I don't think I want a decoupler on there because I need to recover this vessel. Okay, so we've got the 3 boosters. We've got that, and we want to fire the engine off with the first one. Okay, fingers crossed. Do you think that's going to work?
No.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Kerbal. It never works first time. Marge Hayden, why have green aliens taken over NASA? Bless them. The little Kerbals are exactly 1/10 your size. The little mini-me's. Oh, bless them. There we go. So let's try this. So, the mission I'm going for, I have to get up to just over 16,000 meters. That's very, very high. Also, I have to be traveling at least 130 meters per second before I test these parachutes. Again, that's going to be tricky. And in the one below, I need to be over 300 meters per second, but 14 kilometers a second. Yeah, this is going to be very difficult to test these things, I think.
Simon Winner thinks it should be thicker, bigger, and longer.
That is what she said. Oh god, let's get it to 14. No, 500 meters a second. Oh, tick there. Come on, keep the speed up. That's what she said. Right, go on. Right, I need to slow down. Actually, I've gone too damn, I didn't notice that. So I got to enough speed for the top one, but then didn't get... this is tricky. This is really tricky to get the balance on these missions. Definitely seems like something you want to do lots of smaller missions rather than trying to do all of the missions all at once sort of thing. You want to kind of balance out your missions and just do them slowly and gradually and work your way up through the career path, I think, rather than trying to rush them. Make a longer one. Oh, right, it's like, okay, yes, I'll turn the cheats on in a minute. I'll make the longest, wobbliest rocket I can make, which will look absolutely awful, I guarantee it.
It'll be throbbing.
It will be, and I'd thrust it forward with maximum velocity. You're incorrigible.
Penetrate the inky blackness of space.
What kind of books were you writing again, Darren?
Something about space and powerful rockets. There's definitely some throbbing in there.
Right, let's try and find the sweet spot. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? There we go. So, right, 300 meters per second, somewhere between that, and I'm going to have to drop below 22 kilometers, and I should then have all of the green ticks in the top corner ticked, and then if I activate the parachutes, that should do the trick. Oh no, I'm going too fast. Damn you, I'm going to have to slow down. This is so difficult to get it just right. I'm going to have to... Yeah, right. Okay.
Neon Raven says he thought this was a family show. I don't quite understand what he's talking about. We're being perfectly innocent. We're talking about rockets here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what did you think we were talking about? Let's get that parachute out. So I think I might have got the one set of requirements. I might just have to aim for one thing.
Well, better than nothing.
The problem is, of course, is if I oh, those boosters might have just disappeared into the ether there. Yeah, the problem is, of course, I've got to be really careful with doing lots of missions because the cost of them will eventually bankrupt me if I do too many of these missions too soon and don't recover any of the equipment from it. Yeah, those boosters seem to have disappeared, so that's unfortunate because it doesn't look like I'm going to get the money back for those. Damn.
Why did they disappear?
I don't know. I have heard actually that
they seem to just jump away.
Yeah, I think there's some kind of limitation in the game that after a couple of kilometers they effectively disappear from the rendering, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. Particularly now that they've added in the ability to have these, gain money back from recovering things. You kind of want to be able to recover things without them disappearing. But yeah, it is only a 0.24 release or something like that. So there's more to come. So don't worry about that.
You think you landing further away from the station now, is that due to wind conditions or just the rotation of the Earth? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is actually the rotation of the planet because I've done it before. I've locked something dead center, put the stability control on, launched vertically, and just let it drop straight back down. And you do end up in the mountains behind because of the rotation of the planet. It's considering it's basically a 1/10 scale of our Earth, the size and the gravity and everything of it. But it is really, really impressive, the level of detail they've put in already. It's really good.
Dan's just off for smoke, so this is the perfect time to say bad things about him.
Shh.
Can we talk about the size of this rocket?
I've heard that it's not that big.
Yeah? Yeah, I've heard it's hard to find.
Yeah.
I've heard it's not that big and he doesn't know what to do with it either.
So right, which one shall I try? Let's that totally put me off. Right, let's delete that. Let's delete that. It's like Dragon Simply Speaking all over again. Delete that. No, delete that. The number of times I've fought with that damn thing. So I would make this larger and more phallic, but I can't afford to. I don't have the credits to do it. So we just got to get to 16 kilometers and launch the chute. I'm going to try and get that mission first. I have to complete at least one of these missions. If I keep trying and failing, I will effectively bankrupt my space agency before I get any further.
You can't do that. Look at all these Kerbals running
These poor
around.
little
They don't have
Kerbals.
jobs.
Poor little Kerbals.
does look nice though.
It is large and cylindrical. Okay, let's give this a go. Let's see.
Just like my pencil.
Right. So of course the just like you were saying, the whole fuel to weight ratio business. If you have stages in there, you can kind of shed some of that weight piece at a time. Obviously, this is kind of wasteful. This one, I'm going to blow this. I better finish that statement quickly. I'm going to destroy that solid rocket booster as soon as I activate the next stage. Boom! So that's just going to go hurtling back down towards the surface of the planet there. So let's try and keep the speed up. Going to get to 16 kilometers, and then I will launch that chute. Now, I don't care if I don't use all my fuel. Actually, that's one of the things I've noticed, is that if you return with some fuel left over, that is actually a bonus as well. You receive credits back for bringing fuel back, which is quite nice.
Sounds very inefficient, though. You're basically carrying around dead weight.
It's actually very, very difficult to manage to return with any fuel left over. I tend to run out of fuel on virtually all of my missions, so coming home with fuel is actually a considerable bonus if I manage to do that. So, oh, a little bit higher. That's what she said. There we go. Tested the chute, and instantly the mission seems to be a success. So I'm gonna let that chute drag me. It's instantly a drogue parachute. It's now slowing me down as I go through the atmosphere there. Excellent. So I've completed that contract. So I think for the next one, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to... So I tested a solid booster. Yeah, what I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have a solid booster on a secondary stage in order for me to launch it when I get to 14 kilometers. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to complete that one.
Just how solid is this solid booster?
Really hard. Really hard. Cosmic, we're not going to go there. Putty, yes. Oh dear. Puppies? You lot are terrible. You know, I just don't know what you're all getting at. So one of the nice things I found... Sorry, go ahead.
Strange people, these days.
So I know. Why have they got an obsession with
Let's talk about
putty?
some hard science here. Some
Yeah,
really hard, pulsating science.
Yeah. It's... I can't now. I've lost it. Sorry. I'm done. There we go. Oh dear. So let's try and land this thing before I completely crack up. Oh dear. Post. You must. Oh dear.
This postman.
I am glad I put the mature content flag on this stream when I started now.
With this community, it must be done.
It's yeah.
At least we haven't encouraged it in any way, shape, or form.
No, I have no idea what they're getting at. It's it's honestly, it wasn't me. I didn't start it. I mentioned nothing about any of these things that you're bringing up now. So I'm hoping. Oh, there. Oh, the chute goes excellent. There, we've got the chute. I was worrying the chute wasn't going to deploy then.
That would not have ended well.
Oh, look. Okay. So I've left one of my spacecraft on the tracks on the way out to the launch pad there. Oh, whoa. Oh no.
You didn't land so far away this time.
Oh dear. Houston, we have a problem.
Oh.
And I'm gonna... Whoa. Deploy chute? Oh my god, okay. Panic. That was a major panic on then. I accidentally hit the wrong button and for some reason my... No! Oh, I know what it is. Oh, no! Yeah. Oh, dear God. Okay, I saved it the first time, completely ruined it the second time. I had time acceleration on. Epic fail. And I ended up blowing most of my rocket.
Wow.
That's what she said. Oh dear, right, let's recover that rocket. Let's go. Let's back to the drawing board. This conversation's quickly descending into absolute filth.
The time acceleration was something that we had a lot in Frontier. You turn on the time acceleration and suddenly you'd be flying through something. Yeah.
straight into the side of the space station, which is tricky. Shouldn't have done that, but there we go. Right, let's see. What is my other? So my other mission is now to launch another booster at a higher altitude. I wonder if I can just do that with 2. Fingers crossed, I can do it that way. Let's give it a go. Let's see if we can get it there.
I'm losing faith in you here, Kerrash.
I know it's not going well.
I didn't actually have faith in you at the start, but I'm
Well,
still losing it somehow.
This what little faith you had left has gone out of the window. Like I said, I managed to make this game look painfully difficult, and then it's frustrating when you watch someone like Scott Manley who just breezes through it. You know, it's just walking
You
apart.
do know that he doesn't do it live. He does all these recordings and he does it 50 times and then only shows you the one.
I will take that as a compliment. Under pressure, I'm not bad.
And yeah, when I've played about with this, I'm pretty sure I struggle to get off the landing pad a lot of the time.
Oh, it's insanely difficult. It's so painful to try and just do the simplest thing. You think, yeah, I'm just gonna put a rocket on and I'm just going to launch it, and then, yeah, it should be easy, no problem. No, it is insanely hard. It is as hard as rocket science should be, which is great. That's why it's so rewarding when you actually manage to do it. The first time I managed to land on the moon, or however you pronounce it in this game, absolute, just fantastic. I was overwhelmed. I was like, yes, it's like finally bloody did it. It was just so brilliant to be able to do it.
I was happy just to be able to crash into the moon.
Yes, just got far enough to get there, but yeah, it takes some doing, but it is so rewarding once you manage to do it. Really, really good fun. So anyone who doesn't have this game, you should go and try it. Just get the demo version, just give it a go. The demo version gives you probably as much as what I've shown you in the last half hour anyway, but the full game has so much more. And we're going too fast, damn you! We reach the right speed and it's going too fast. Of course, the problem with the solid rocket boosters is they burn and burn until they expire all their fuel. There's nothing you can do about it. Damn. So again, I have failed that mission. That is a surprisingly difficult mission to do. I have to wait until I'm at the right speed, the right altitude, and all those other factors in there before I actually launch that second rocket. That is a
sad thing is the little Kerbal in the corner. He still looks so hopeful.
He's loving it. He's so happy. Jebediah is famously enthusiastic about everything, regardless of what's going on. And here we go. So I think I've set a new. If I had an altitude record contract, I'd be winning that. 124 kilometers straight up. That's pretty impressive.
It's just the going down again.
Yeah, and that's rapidly occurring as we speak.
Good trajectory that you've got there too.
Just pretty much straight into the mountains by the looks of it. Oh no, actually, because the planet is rotating, I'm going to land fairly close to the space station, but or spaceport, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, just got blowing. Yeah, I'm gonna try and avoid saying anything because it's just gonna come out wrong.
Are you gonna do your speed up again?
I'm gonna speed it up a little bit, and then when I get closer to the ground, I'm gonna slow it down. So I love the heat and like the breaking the sound barrier. You get those nice little effects, the cushioning effects, as you hit those crazy speeds in there. So there's also the in-vehicle views. I don't know if you've seen those.
Oh no.
So if I launch the parachute so I know I'm going to be safe. I've got this, not that and typical, there is nothing to see right now because we're just floating down to the surface. But if I speed it up a little bit. And this little capsule, I mean, it literally is, it's reminiscent of the old Mercury capsules from way back in the day. It's tiny and it has a tiny little window, so there's not a great deal to see. But if I rotate it around, hopefully we can see that mountain range in the distance.
So Mr. Kerbal guy is looking around at nothing.
At the moment, he's got a tiny little window to look through. He's got the instrumentation panel, which
can't see anything.
I do like that the instruments on here are really impressive. They are actually 3D. They're fully simulated, so you can play the game entirely in in the cockpit. I've just turned some of the mode switches on and off there. You can play it entirely in cockpit, but it's insanely difficult. Just last week I played, like I said, the mods I had on, which unfortunately I had to lose because I had an Oculus Rift mod on, which is insane fun. This game is already crazy fun, but sitting in that little cockpit of a space plane with the Rift and like launching up into the atmosphere and watching that atmosphere bleed away out of the side window, that is just so cool. It really just makes me think of what we're going to be able to do when we can land on planets in Elite. I can't wait, can't wait. It's going to be so cool. So I haven't killed a Kerbal yet, so fortunately my reputation is going up even if my money is going down. So let's see if we can get an easier mission, because that one is surprisingly difficult. Who's that? Turjan Starsound there, Merlin Station. Still think of Ross 154. Yeah, I can't wait until we can go there. That's going to bring back so many memories, being able to take my Eagle down there and just plonk there. I'm just going to sit on the launch pad and just look around with my Rift. I'm not going to do anything. If you see me sat there taking up a landing pad, I'm just sat there reminiscing, so just ignore me and carry on trading. I'm just
imagine that beautiful pink sky with the gas giant up
just
into the sky, and then the sound of the dust, the sound.
Brilliant. I can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. It's going to be so cool.
That would be good in Oculus Rift as well. Why don't we get Frontier Elite 2 in Oculus Rift? Probably not possible.
Oh, I wonder if you could do it. So I know the guys have been making was it the
Pioneer?
No, well, Pioneer maybe, yeah. Pioneer might be able to do that.
Or JFFE?
JFFE, that's one which supports a 3D engine, so it might be possible to do that. So if you guys are listening out there, give me a shout. I will, by all means, I will help you test that, and I could probably code some of it too if you wanted. So give me a shout. I'd love to see that. That'd be great demo.
Because I still love the aesthetic of Frontier. It has that kind of blocky, sleek style, you know, the blank colours and things.
Yeah.
It had a certain visual aesthetic to it that, you know, they knew they couldn't do realistic exactly, so they went with a specific aesthetic, and I thought it worked really well. And something in that in Oculus Rift could be very cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I saw something a while back. It was a little fan-made video, and it was for something else, but it was kind of like an art project or something. But it was very, very reminiscent. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was very reminiscent of the style of Frontier Elite 2, that kind of like flat shaded polygons, you know, really blocky style to it, but still a lot of detail, a lot of fine detail in there, and I love that. I mean, to me, the whole texture mapping thing that came later in the games, like in like First Encounters, things like that, I wasn't a fan of the texture mapping. I didn't really like it. I preferred the original style, and I was kind of sad to see it disappear. So yeah, I'd love to see something like that. I mean, if someone's thinking of making a game like that, then yeah, oh please make one.
Have you played Proteus?
It rings a bell. I might have.
Proteus is it's a procedural game. It regenerates this island every time you play, and it's just a kind of like some people call it a walking simulator. You walk around and explore this island, and it procedurally generates music around you as well, depending on where you're looking and what elements are around and what time of day it is and things. And it's got the same kind of blocky style, and it's a beautiful game, really beautiful. They're working on an Oculus Rift version of that as well, which looks pretty awesome.
Oh wow!
But it's one of the most engaging, engrossing games I've played. It's really wonderful.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, I'll have to give that a try. That does sound like my kind of thing, actually. I love that kind of like exploratory stuff. It's like it doesn't really have to be a great deal of gameplay there. Just that kind of just wander around and see what's about and all that sort of thing. I love that kind of thing. I could literally play that for hours and hours on end, and seemingly not achieve anything, but still at the same time I just have immense fun doing it.
What's wonderful is how it's a different island every time you play, and you get to explore these different elements and interact with certain things differently.
Yeah, I love that. So Proteus, I will take note of that.
Cosmic Gamer is saying that he plays Pioneer from time to time, but it's quite unfinished, which is what I've heard about it too. Yeah,
unfortunately, there's a lot of elements to it which aren't done yet. I have played several of the versions, and it is very impressive what they've managed to do. But yeah, at the same time, you can tell it's not complete yet by any means, which is a shame, because the gauntlet has been thrown down in effect, really, as Elite Dangerous is on the horizon. It's kind of tricky to see what they're going to be able to do, which is going to differentiate them. But it's good to have it there. I mean, it's a good nostalgia trip. Oh, let's try this. I'm going for broke here. I have literally. I am literally trying the.
Let's get a side view of that so it looks properly.
Phallic.
Yeah. I was going to say, elegant and refined and, looking
Sleek.
properly side on and erect. Very erect. Wonderful, yes.
So I am literally going for the impossible here. I'm trying to set up an orbit, which I doubt I'm going to be able to do. I've picked the hardest mission, 70-kilometer orbit, which is going to be tricky. I will say that. It's going to be very, very tricky. It's even harder when I can't get my view to show the panel that I want to show. Damn. So I'm trying to keep the vertical motion in there, bleed off some of the atmosphere before I really kick in the main stage there. So I'll tilt over now. So my apoapsis is about 40 seconds away, which is what I want. That's going to be trying to keep it at that sort of angle there, but I'm going to have to get it above 70 kilometers, which seems like a long shot at this point. But I have got a second stage. Fingers crossed, the second stage will do the trick. Once I get out of this atmosphere, I can start to kick my engine up to full power. I have to keep switching back to match view because I can't get this the little nav ball thing to show up at the moment. It's just off the screen. There we go. Oh.
Just remembering one detail of Proteus actually is that the guy that's doing the Oculus Rift port is actually a big Elite fan.
Oh, really?
And he's on the forum and he's on the Nick Ludlam. He is.
Ah, yes, yeah.
So he's doing the Oculus port of Proteus.
Oh, excellent. Brilliant.
Very cool little tie-in.
Excellent. I really want to check this out now. It's just.
And I know the developer of Edkey, I've sort of friends with him. He was a big fan of Frontier.
Oh,
it's kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. No, like I said, I mean, I really love that style of it. I'd love to see a some kind of homage to it, maybe on like a mobile phone game or something like that. I would definitely buy that if there was some version of Frontier that I could play on my mobile phone. I'd be well up for that.
With some midis of a Mussorgsky.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can sit there with my MP3s humming along. It'd be excellent. Certainly make the commute easier. Right, I got a 30-second burn on this, so I'm going to start burning now. Oh, I think I can do this. 30-second burn on this. I'm not sure whether this tank has got enough oomph in it. See, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I'll be able to do this.
Everything crossed here.
I was like, oh, and I've gone over the halfway mark on the speed, but I've gone below on fuel. I'm hoping it's going to be enough. I'm going to aim slightly below the horizon. Oh, am I... Oh, 170. Yes! Yes!
Ooh, very good, very good.
Just done it yet, and it's ticked in the top corner now. I've just achieved orbit. Hoo-yah! That's the way to do it. See, the question is now, where shall I try and get it to land? Let's see if I can be clever and land it back somewhere in the ocean. And I need... Oh, I can't put a... Oh, I can't put an orbit. Never mind. I'll put an orbit marker when I get round there. So let's. I'll tell you what we do. We take a crew report. Might as well grab the science whilst I'm up here. Do an EVA report. You see, little Jebediah can go on a little spacewalk. We're in orbit now, so he's not going to crash. Bless him. Or we can get his little jetpack out, have a fly around, check the ship for damage. It's brilliant. I mean, at this stage, it seems very, very simplistic. There's not a lot in there, but when you get to the later stages and you can make multiple sections with like docking ports, and you can build up space stations and tie them all together, and I absolutely love doing that. There's something fascinating about it, even in like the sandbox mode without like the gameplay elements. Just being able to go around and build up your own version of the ISS or something like that. Immense fun. It's really good fun being able to do that. And there's, like I said, no real goal to it. It's just that sense of satisfaction when you manage to do it. Really, really great fun. Right, so let's get ourselves lined up. What I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to shut down. I'm hoping We're going to have enough. Yes, that's okay, right. So you've also got to take into account, up in the top left corner, you've got this idea of resources as well. So you've got like electrical charge and things like that. And I always forget with the electrical charge, unless you have some kind of solar panels or something, it's very easy to run out of battery power in the module that your crew's in. And without battery power, you can't ignite the engines.
Oh dear.
Which is
You think they would have like a little emergency charge for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, effectively, that's all you've got in the crew pod is emergency charge. And later on, you can have additional battery modules and things like that. But yeah, you're pretty much screwed if you end up running out of resources. But it's great that it's that detailed. I love the simulation is that detailed that it. Oh, someone's put up that. Oh, thank you, Talmart. Yeah, visit Proteus. That's a copy and paste. That's our keeper. Ah, Commander Jan. Greetings, Commander. But yeah, several times have I been bitten by the I'll accidentally forgot to put batteries or a solar panel or something on my ship design, and run out of battery power. My poor little Kerbal goes hurtling off into the depths of space, never to be seen again. Bless him, bless him. But it's even that detailed that if you're that way inclined, you can even set up rescue missions to go up with a module with 2 seats to go and rescue him, which I have actually done, which is immensely satisfying. First time I managed to land on the moon, I had nowhere near enough fuel to get the poor thing back, and so I made a bigger, heftier rocket and sent it up. I think it was just robotically controlled, so the crew seat was empty, effectively, and it was enough to rescue him and bring him home, which was brilliant. I love it.
How did you kind of like slow down enough to capture him?
Well, I actually managed to land him on the moon. So he was sat there, basically marooned. He was completely deserted. But I made a rocket stage and planned with more fuel on it this time, and kind of got into orbit a lot more efficiently. So I had plenty of fuel left over. I had enough to land. I had to get the little dude to wander over to it a couple of kilometers, because that was about as close as I could land to him. And then
it would be terrible if you accidentally landed on top of him.
Right on top of him. Yeah, right on top of him.
Cool. Because do you know XKCD did an article on what it would take to retrieve Voyager?
Oh wow, that would be cool.
And they said like the biggest problem is you need a massive, amazing rocket to get out there. Voyager got as far as it could thanks to slingshotting some fortuitously aligned planets. So you wouldn't have as good a slingshot now. So you need to get out there with an amazing fuel. Then you need the same amount of fuel again to slow yourself down.
Yeah, of course.
Then grab it, and then enough to start up again and get back and then land and all that. And just that whole exponential curve of fuel requirements just makes it absolutely nuts.
Yeah, crazy. Some insane amount of power. But hey, if you've got fusion reactors and frame shift drives, then it's simple.
If you can just super cruise over to it.
Exactly. Yeah, you can pop there for the weekend just to check it out. See, that would. See, a lot of people have been saying about, I'd love to be able to find Voyager in the Elite universe. I'd love it if it's just a family picnic spot. People go and visit Voyager for the weekend and they park up near it and just kind of see the sights and then fly back. That would be a nice little thing.
I think that looking this far in the future, Voyager will be as relevant to us as like the first boat is to us now.
Yeah.
When was the first boat? Oh, I don't know.
Or
even if you think the first flight, that was 100 years ago or so, and I can't remember the name of the guys that did it.
The Wright brothers.
And if you think, in 1,000 years, people really don't know. It's one of those, it's a pub quiz question. So Voyager is going to end up like some sort of pub quiz question, if it's even remembered at all.
Just a relic of a forgotten age.
Especially when you consider, like the Empire, which probably doesn't consider Sol to be the heart of humanity anyway, just as the same ways that we don't really consider Africa to be the heart of humanity now. America doesn't really care that much about Europe as from where it originally came from and all that sort of thing. So in 1,300 years' time, our connections with the present day will be weak at best.
Yeah, It is surprising how much things can change in what we would consider, a relatively short space of time. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how different the galaxy is. And I know you know things that I don't want to know. So
don't know everything. David Braben said recently in his Q&A about how Earth will be completely different. Like the sea levels will have risen about 50 meters. San Francisco will be swallowed, and we'll have new San Francisco instead, and all this sort of thing. So they're not going to try and model current Earth. They're going to invent their own Earth, essentially. And
that's really cool. I mean, that lets you get around the whole procedural generation problem of having too much content to put in, but also being able to represent it in a recognizable way. That's a nice little touch, I think. There.
Of course, it was pretty cool how they had Earth in Frontier. That you could go and see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, it was surprisingly detailed.
Yeah.
There's
nothing to do there. You just land and watch a clock advance in time. That was one odd little detail. They actually had a clock in one of the cities.
Yeah, that was. Oh, I love that. When the first time I found that, I was absolute awe. I was like, and it really tells the galactic time. That is crazy.
And watch it.
I was like, my word, crazy detail on it.
So it's amazing. 20 years ago, they had that much detail in Frontier. What they're able to do now is going to be wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I've been raving on for 20 years. It's like if we just had more graphics capability, it would be cool. Just think what we could do. We've got. Oh, actually, I better catch up on the questions there quickly. Sorry, Cosmic Gamer. Anyone tried to orbit the star in Kerbal? Yes, I have in one of my other missions, or tried to go very close and skim the coronal ejections. I will avoid the obvious pun there. I have got a mission which goes. Yeah, you can actually get science from going around and the nearby star. Neon Raven, you found that link to that animation, by all means post it up on there. It's great, everyone can check that out. It's really cool, and I will save it because I love it. Cronus Blood is Elite down or something. No, I'm just having a bit of a mashup. I was going to show a whole bunch of Elite ships I was going to make in Kerbal, but they decided to drop an update on the break things, so cry. Marigen, what is the current LS speed? Not sure what you mean by that one, sorry. Sharpshifter, there's going to be a battle for Owlin in a few days before standard beta. Oh dear, I might be standing back and filming that.
Turgeon's got an interesting question about generation ships. Would they be off limit, the ones that we find, or would it be more ethical to contact them and let them know about their real state? These ships that have gone off and thought it would be terrible to be the last generation ship, and a year after you take off, someone invents the hyperdrive and just skips ahead of you. 3 generations down the line, you land in the nearest star, and people are already there going, "Oh, what took you so long?"
That would be a major bummer, wouldn't it? Yeah.
But in terms of the ethics of contacting generation ships, there might be one of the short stories precisely about that in Tales from the Frontier. So I'd recommend reading that because it brings up some interesting questions.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Unless you've read it already.
Yeah. It was but no, it's like I said, it is a good question though. Like you said, what would you do? I mean, if I was on one of these generation ships, I would have liked some kind of clause in there saying, yeah, by the way, if you guys overtake us, then by all means come and knock on the door and wake us up. It's like
it's a bit like the uncontacted civilizations now.
Yeah.
We've got these people near Indonesia and in the heart of the Amazon that specifically we do not contact, partly because if we do, they would contract diseases from us that would kill them pretty quickly. And it would probably be the same in these generation ships. So, yeah, but also it's kind of preserving their culture and stuff. So a generation ship that's launched in 200 years' time would be seen as like these forest natives are to us now, to people in the year 3300.
Yeah. It's insane to think that there's something like that already out there, and we take it for granted the world we live in, and and there's just these other cultures out there which are already. Oh shoot! Sorry, I'm distracted. Something has just gone wrong.
What have you done?
Oh, I have no idea what I've done. For some reason, the rocket just did a barrel roll, and not a good one. Let's click the I win button. Let's go back to launch and try that again. Yes, cow. That does look like one of those. Okay, let me check my staging, make sure I got that on. For some reason, it went into a roll halfway up. I was happily gaining altitude, and it just went into a complete barrel roll and flipped. Okay, let's try that again. Let's get a sharpshifter. It's been castrated. Marriage Aiden, right, okay, Voyager 2's current speed is, what do you say, it was 62,000 kilometers an hour. That's insane. No, it's doing it again. It's contracted some sort of twisty problem. I don't know how on earth.
You put your rockets on, right?
They are on the right way.
Unevenly.
Their face.
It's when they detach that they go spinny.
Yeah, there's something screwy going on there.
Is your Kerbal guy leaning too far to the side?
He's stuffed some snacks into the compartment on the side, and it's causing it to be off balance. I think that's what the problem is. Right, I'm hoping I can just get enough altitude to test this rocket and then just ditch it. And it really has got a bit of a twist on it. It really does not want to stay center. I'm fighting the controls. I just want to get it. God, this is difficult trying to balance it. Come on, stop fighting.
Why don't you use wings and you can fly it like a plane?
Well, yeah, good point actually. I've unlocked one set of aerodynamic wings at the moment, which might be enough to do that. Oh right, I've got the altitude. I'm going to ditch this fuel and just boost this one. No, oh come on, seriously? Did that not count? I dropped speed by about 10 meters per second, and I don't think it counted. I'm just gonna. Oh no! Oh yeah, this is going horribly wrong. Yes, that rocket is heading straight down, and I can't control it. I do this. Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! It's going wrong. It's going wrong. Farewell, Commander Cal. There we go. See, that kind of worked. I love it when things go on. It's got the debris flying off there randomly under complete freefall.
Have you played much of FTL?
Oh, FTL. Oh, I love it. I've got it on the iPad. I bought both versions,
nice.
and I can just sit and play that for hours. It's fantastic. I do love it.
I love that for the whole what have I done wrong now thing, or
yeah,
try and fix something and everything else goes wrong. And
yeah, and you can just guarantee it's never going to go your way, is it? It always just goes completely wrong, and that's exactly what's happening to me now.
Yeah,
it's my Challenger moment. Yes, sorry, we are heading for a crash landing.
The O-rings are gone.
although, fingers crossed. Let's. Oh crikey! I'm heading at some sort of speed.
Salvage this?
I think I might be able to save the dude, but I've lost a lot of money on the rocket here. It's all going everywhere. Screwed that mission up again. We're going to have to accept another mission, I think. So I'm going to keep my eye on the radar altimeter here, which is the little dial in the bottom right here. This will give me my radar readout, and hopefully I can drop the parachute just before I come in 500 meters. Now the reason why the radar altimeter is better than the one outside is because the main altitude readout gives you your altitude from sea level. This gives you your altitude from what's below you. So if you're flying over the mountains, oh, did that slow down? Please tell me that slowed down. Oh yes, parachute deployed. There we go. Whew. Okay, I was right on the mark. Yeah, the altimeter inside the on the dashboard there. Oh, there's the piece of rocket coming flying down. That's going to explode in a second. It gives you the readout from the mountain range, so it's a little bit thing. Because according to this, I'm still 2 kilometers above sea level, but inside the cockpit, I've only got 250 meters to go before I hit the ground. So, kind of useful, that view. Question there. Is FTL a game? Yes, FTL, Faster Than Light. It is a fantastic game. You can get it on Steam, I believe. It's available on there. I think I got it through the Humble Bundle. And like I said, it is on
you
iPad
get it through
as well.
the developer's website, you still get a Steam code, but more of the money goes to the developers.
That's the best way to do it.
Really
Yeah.
deserve it because they're
Yeah.
amazing.
Absolutely, it is a fantastic game. It's like it's a roguelike, which is it floats your boat, doesn't it, Darren? And
It does
it's
now.
yeah,
Even in space. it
even in
floats.
space, yes. So it's like a top-down 2D view of a ship. I'll have to do a stream for it. If you guys want to see one, I'll do a stream for it to demo it. It's
I
fantastic.
will probably cringe a lot watching you play it. I find it hard to watch Let's Plays of FTL because I always think, no, you should have done that. What are you doing with the oxygen? Look at the oxygen.
Yes,
Look at the
yes,
oxygen.
you're suffocating your crew. Don't know what are you doing yet? And it all goes terribly wrong for me. It always goes really, really wrong for me, no matter how hard I try. But yeah, I'll do it. It's brilliant. So it's like a 2D top-down roguelike game. So basically, permadeath. You get one playthrough of it, and you have to start all over again if you screw up, which happens every time for me, but it's insanely addictive and you want to keep trying and trying. You basically have to command a ship. You have little crew going around running systems. You have to maintain them. You can have fires break out. The atmospheric doors can blow out into space and you end up suffocating your crew, and all these random events can occur, which is just, it's fantastic. Really, really good game. You should check it out. Oh, thank you, Turgeon there, put the link up in there, it's great. I just noticed your comment there, Darren, yeah. I said I'm gonna get the tattoo lasered off, yeah.
So if anyone really likes FTL, then we interviewed the developers for it on Roguelike Radio. You can go check that out on roguelikeradio.com.
Cool. Yeah, if you got the link for it, yeah, just post away. Get the link
Digging
up.
out now.
Tolmart, you'd like to watch that? Yeah, okay. I will queue up a FTL stream at some point in the near future. Thunder and lightning, yes, good point, Sharpshooter. My lights have dipped a few times, which is really starting to worry me now. That I might, it might suddenly just, it might look like I'm hanging up on everyone, but yeah, it'd be the thunder. So I better put a lid on things there. I think actually. Just in case I end up losing all power here. So I'd just like to say thank you very much to Mr. Grey there. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, it's been a great pleasure.
It's been great fun to have you on. I love getting feedback from you guys, and I think you're my first celebrity guest. I think, isn't it?
Really?
I think so.
Didn't you have Alan on?
Alan Strode. Oh, of course, at LaveCon. Yes, Alan Strode was on at LaveCon. Yeah, so and Chris Fozza as well, which was great. Great to have those guys on.
Psycho Cow on.
Psycho Cow, yeah, of course, he's a celeb, isn't he? He's the super sub.
Yes.
Bless him. But no, it's much more coming as well. Actually, I've got something really cool planned up for someone I didn't believe I would ever get to chat, but yes, it's coming, which is really cool.
I know who it is, and it's exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like I said, I'm going to try and do more competitions and stuff for you guys, and I'll announce the winner next week on next week's stream for the first ever competition on Kerrash Landing, and hopefully more to come in the future. All thanks to you guys out there very kindly hitting the donate button below, and that's you make it all possible. So thank you very much for doing that. And with that, I shall bid you all adieu. Thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Goodbye, Commanders.